Hello everyone, I am Vidhi Narang, a research advisor at Nikor Associates. In this podcast, I will be discussing some of the long term factors affecting female labor market outcomes. I will also be sharing some recommendations for the way forward in light of the COVID 19 pandemic. In order to build a resilient post COVID 19 economy, women must be kept at the heart of our recovery strategy. These findings are part of our research paper presented at the 12th Women's Leadership and Empowerment Conference 2021. In order to tackle the disproportionate impact of COVID 19 on women, governments must focus on five key long term factors. First is occupational segregation, which refers to the concentration of women in low productivity and low paying sectors such as agriculture, retail, hospitality, health and beauty, and education. Skill training programs aimed at women with a special focus on courses with lower than 30% female participation can more evenly distribute women across sectors. Furthermore, the government can support informal female workers through preferential hiring in government funded civil works, in addition to expanding maternity related cash support for at least 2 years. Second is the increased mechanization and automation of labor. This disproportionately displaces women in sectors like textiles and agriculture. As a first step, the government must introduce disaggregated gender matrix and monitor gender parity efforts at the company level within the private sector. This can prevent firms from disproportionately laying off women in the formal sector. Third is the income effect, a phenomena wherein an increase in the average household income acts as a signal of prosperity, resulting in women leaving the workforce. And fourth are the social norms. In India, women are restricted to the domestic sphere where they perform significantly more hours of unpaid care work in comparison to men, leaving them no time for productive paid work as part of the labor force. To tackle both challenges, the government must actively participate in shifting cultural norms by launching campaigns that include male role models. Fifth is the persistent gaps in tertiary education and skill training which prevent women from joining the workforce. These gaps can be filled by addressing the loss of midday meals and the digital divide that puts female students at immediate risk. However, in the long term, the government must address persistent wage gaps, falling household incomes, and impending recession, all of which affect a young girl's decision to pursue higher education. For more economic policy analysis, stay tuned for our Women's Day special series. Thank you.